Welcome back on a Wednesday night to No Remorph, guys. We are back here again. Hopefully, we've got a full screen this week, not just a quarter, not just me blabbing away, but you can see everybody on there and everything's working. I think we have that stuff ironed out. Every week it's something different, but appreciate everybody that comes out to the show tonight. We got a lot of different stuff going on tonight. This week, actually, in general, has been kind of a busy week for us. So, great guest. He's swapping over from his TikTok side of things where he's been super busy. Had a presence on YouTube where he'd transfer those shows over for people to check out here, but I think the big draw for them was on the TikTok side. So it's going to be exciting to hear a little bit about how that's going. And then just to connect with Phil and kind of learn who he is. We're not that familiar with him. I'd never jumped over to TikTok. Jamie probably spent more time over there than I did, but
not a whole lot, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just a newer face to us, although I know a bunch of you guys already know Phil and are familiar with him. So we're going to see what that's all about and get some great information out of him. So super interesting guy. Mm-hmm. No news really as far as the show coming up. We've got some vending to start. Some of the stuff starting to roll in. We've got some of our display cases from ARS. So that's pretty exciting. So really nice cases. Yeah. But that'll be our first kind of foray into that side of it. We talked about how far things were from us and how much work that would be for us to get to some of these shows. And it's going to be, but I feel like it's something with a couple years in and enough, byproduct things that we don't necessarily have a use for, but beautiful animals and useful to starters for sure. We can make a decent table out of it. So we're going to give that a run. Looking forward to it. Just waiting on, what do we have coming? Display stuff, backdrop, some tablecloths. Yeah, stuff like that to come in and we'll be all set. But it's a couple months out before we can do our first one. So we're sitting at below zero most of this week and next week, it looks like. So no shipping, guys, to anybody out there that's waiting for stuff. I know we got a couple of orders. We got to kind of hold off until we see a window where that's feasible. And even handing some of those snakes off.
I looked out another 2 weeks, it looks like, probably at least.
Yeah, it's just been brutal cold the last couple weeks, actually. It's getting to be a stretch now. So generally, we're shippable about this time of year. Actually, end of February is almost wide open. We'll hit those mid to upper 30s during the day, and you can get animals out and headed to somewhere warm. But it's not the case this year. So
yeah, definitely been cold.
Yeah, it's been a chilly one. But yeah, let's see who's out there. We get this show on the road and we'll get Phil out here and get to know him better. We got Vance, Blue Zombie Morphs. Appreciate you, sir. He's in here every week, seems like.
I got Vance's sweatshirt on tonight.
Yeah, you do. Mr. 2%, Sammy Vargas. Jason's got the combo shirt up there in the corner. He had those made up for us. Got Forge on the front and Sammy on the back. Got Ro. What's up, Ro? Chondro Man. Do not miss his show Monday nights, I believe, Chondro Corner. We got Jason at Basement Pythons. Going to be vending with him maybe later this year. Maybe not vending our own animals, but we're going to the show and we're going to give him a hard time the entire time. So good to see you out there, Jason. He does deserve it. We got Phil talking in the background. Fred, MTZ Pythons, appreciate you. Every week he's out here saying hi. We got Brave. Always good to see Brave Adventures. Probably working on a smoothie right now. Multiple fruits going in there. He'll tell me about dessert in a little bit here, I'm sure. Got Blakers. Blakers is in here every week too, man. Appreciate you. 100%. Oh, we got Connie. That's the folks still watching every week. I appreciate them sitting on the couch and catching us on the big screen. We got T-Keys. Had a fantastic show. Just finished up apparently, but Dylan from Big D's out in Pacific Northwest, man, berms, all kinds of crazy animals. Great show. So if you didn't catch it, go back and watch it. Tim, that's the Connie counterpart, sitting on the same couch, watching the kids do their thing. Vinnie, the unofficial, official sponsor that's going to stay on that background from here to the end of time. You need anything engraved, that's your guy. Get a hold of him. Mitzi Ann, Jason pulls out the concrete heart here somehow. Yeah, I can't do that, but we appreciate one of us can. We got Josh at Having a Ball. Hang out with Josh quite a bit in the Discord lately, just kind of cutting it up and talking animals. We've got a couple coming from him, so excited to see them. Craig Bashcoder, big project reveal coming tomorrow, I believe. So catch that, tune in, make sure you guys know what that's about. It's a big community movement, so you don't want to miss out on that. Got Jeff, Bald-Headed Balls. Appreciate you, Jeff. He's been out here every week since he popped in. So something we did must not have offended him yet. He's still sticking around. But Jason Opelt, we just shipped your shirt out today. Hopefully you get that pretty quick. Generally, it's pretty quick turnaround, about a week. Appreciate you, sir. Your music's coming too. Just got to find a copyright workaround on that. James Perry, the silent assassin. Catch him in the Discord too. Keep saying Discord, but if you're not in there, jump in with us. Just shoot us a DM. We'll get you a link. And who the F is Greg? Love him coming in here too. Appreciate you, Greg. Rippin' Reptiles, another show sponsor. And a ForgeCoin affiliate too. Tommy, Exotic World of Geckos. Appreciate you, sir. That's Jamie's cohort in the Leopard Gecko arena.
Yeah.
Got Kike and the Sultan of Support. Hope everything's going well down there, Kike. Improvement and everything's moving forward. Sounds like it is, so that is fantastic news. Shauna Kana, she's the wheels on the bus go round and round on the Fat Man Nation, but she's the driver. Don't let Chris kid you. And we got Jen. She's coming up in a couple weeks. She's going to be a guest out here. Kind of shake off some of the nerves and get her out here and get everybody to meet her and greet her and see what she's all about. We got Derek. I can't hear Derek chuckle in the comments, unfortunately. That's one of my favorite things about his shows, but good to see you out here, Derek.
He's got a good giggle.
Yeah, that chuckle cracks me up every time. I can't help it. We got Jamie, Rising Phoenix. Appreciate you, Jamie. Talk about some fire in those racks. I know Chris will love that I said that. Axis Row Revel. That's got to be one on Phil's side, coming out to check out Phil, following him around. Not familiar with it, but appreciate you coming out 100%. Maybe we can get you to come back in. Got John at Mission Morphs. John and Chance. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So all the way from Texas, those guys at Mission, great guys. They are part of the Forge affiliates too. We got Santos, Exotic A1 Pets. Appreciate seeing you out here, Santos. Every week that guy swings in too. Do I got to queue up music? I feel like I have music to queue up. We got Chris out at Balls Deep. Appreciate seeing Chris in here too. Just watched a reel where somebody received an unboxing from Chris. So looked like you did a nice job. You had all kinds of stuff jammed in that box with the snake.
Unboxings are fun to watch.
They are. They're cool. It's cool to see how everybody presents their stuff. We got Holly. Holly was our guest last week. That was a pile of fun getting to sit with Bobby and Holly and kind of just cut it up and sit afterwards and talk for a little bit too.
Yeah, that was
if you did not see that one, go back and check it out. Hot Seat was something else. Bobby had us going.
And Texoma Exotics is a new affiliate.
Oh, okay.
For Forge,
Nice.
for ForgeCoin.
Nice,
Sweet.
nice.
Did I forget to tell you that?
Yeah, I'm going to have to get it added on there, but it's out there now. Might as well have it. And we got a lot of ForgeCoin adding up out there. Big Dan, Vision Quest Reptiles, Mr. DG Puzzle, and that guy is way, way into the puzzle game. If you need something, anything in puzzle, that's a good place to start, for sure.
Jason's cat's just licking his shirt away.
Yeah, just doing a cleaning job back there, but
it's time for my shower, and I got to do this. So.
That's so
James B. Easy, good to see you out here, sir. The back alley artist. Posted up some stuff in the Discord. If you're curious what he's up to in the art side of it, you can go catch a couple. He was brave and stuck them in there, so appreciate that. Good to see James out here. All caught up?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. That's awesome to see everybody. Appreciate you guys 100%. So I'm going to move over, and we're going to talk about what we were just talking about real quick. ForgeCoin affiliates. Something we started up as kind of a community effort. We wanted to get what we do for our giveaways, things on the spin to wins, hey, this is the whatever episode when ForgeCoin is getting handed out, we want to spread that through different people. If they're open to it, we just settle up on the back end, we get it handled, and you can transfer your ForgeCoin dollar to dollar for product from these people. So,
and we'll
Charlie,
add Texoma for next week.
Yeah, we're going to have to get their logo in there.
That's my bad, Holly. I apologize.
So we'll zip through them. I think pretty well everybody's familiar with these people, but we got Charlie with the shed testing. We got Chris over there at BNS. He's got Coco stuff and a ton of different kinds of animals too. Got Rippin' Reptiles. Greg and TJ over there said whatever they got available, just throw ForgeCoin at it. They're more than happy to do that. Got Vinnie, Bone Daddy Serpents. I think he's kind of sticking with the engraving stuff. So you're cutting boards and doing, I believe he does glass, all kinds of engraving product over there. So Mission Morphs, I think they're wide open, whatever they got, whether it's merch and animals, hit them up, let them know, hey, I want to put some Forge coin toward it. He's cool with that. Same with Rich at Capital City. He had no qualms about whatever it was he had available. Just let him know and we'll square up with Rich on his stuff. Angel Caro, he's doing the 3D printed stuff. Hides, perches, shipping stuff, hooks, custom printed stuff. He'll work with you to get a design you want.
Bowls.
Yeah, water bowls, the cup holders. I mean, he does a lot of different stuff right out of the gate, but he'll do custom too. And the same with the group above them there, the Graceful Pythons. They do all the 3D printing and super customized with your logos on it, tub tags, again, hides, water bowls, and they'll
Gecko
definitely
lay
work with you.
boxes.
Yep, Gecko lay boxes. If you caught the Instagram posts at all, we've got a couple from them. Got some
I
coming
have a
from
couple
Angel
on the
too.
counter. I could grab one and show it.
Yeah, sure, you might as well between. But put Holly and Texoma up there too. So they want to be included. We're going to throw them in the middle and get their banner up there and include them. So again, guys, the Forge Coin thing is our attempt to be kind of more community oriented in our giveaways. You're not stuck with getting something from us. You don't have to get a Forge shirt or a Forge snake. You can kind of go through these other people and get some of their product, and we'll square up with them. So definitely use it. There's getting to be quite a bit of Forge Coin floating around out there. Don't be shy about reaching out and saying, hey, I'd like to get this, and we'll work it out. We'll figure out a way you can spend it. So yeah, excellent. Hyde, look at that thing. Actually, let me blow you up if I can. I can't right at the moment, but
That's okay.
we'll show that later on in the show, maybe at trivia time when we're all on the screen.
Okay.
So hang on to that. We'll put that
I will
out there
keep
for
it
sure.
on my desk.
Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of covers the affiliates.
You mean the hater tissue box? He thinks it looks like a hater tissue box.
Right. Put the tissues in there for all our haters. They can just pull one out at a time. Appreciate that. Yeah, so that kind of covers it, guys. But again, spend your coin too. Don't feel like you have to, hang on to it or be shy about it in any way. If there's something you're interested in, we'll reach out to people for you too and go, look, if we can work this out, we got Forge coin to throw your way, and that's kind of already agreed upon. So no worries. But that being said, we've got a guest anxiously awaiting back there. Jason's shirt is almost clean.
Almost.
And we've got a Charlie commercial to get into. So if you got to run real quick and you want to miss out on this beauty of a commercial, do your thing, because we are coming back with Phil in just, about 45 seconds? Something like that. Sit tight, guys. Phil's on his way out. So that's Charlie at shedtesting.com. Get your stuff sent over there, man. It's fast response. He does an awesome job. So appreciate Charlie 100%. So we're going to send Jamie backstage. She's going to rifle through comments. If you have questions for Phil or us or however you want to throw it up there, definitely put them out there. Jamie will kind of be sorting those and highlighting them. If we can get to them, we definitely will. So with that being said, let's get Constrictly Business Phil out here, yeah? Get this on the road. Phil.
There he is.
Good to have you in the house.
Thanks.
How you feeling tonight?
And I'm good. Glad to be here for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you. We appreciate you coming on and taking your time to sit down with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks to everyone in the comments. The comments have been popping. I've been watching them. Thanks for everyone taking the time out to check out the Forge fam and see my derpy pace tonight. So I do appreciate it. You guys are rad. Big love.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely appreciate it. We have to do the shout outs and stuff at the beginning because this is a chunk of a person's day. I mean, that means a lot that they're going to sit here and spend it with you. So
That's
yeah,
right.
it's much
There's Will and
appreciated.
Audra in the comments down there. I was catching that you mentioned the Whiskey Bomb Network earlier. I was catching some of that show. That was a good one with Dylan, dude. That guy is talented. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, man. He can do all kinds. It never ceases to amaze me. He's over here propagating plants at double speed. I mean, that guy is just doing stuff, man. Growing shrimp. He's over there growing shrimp. If his animals don't eat it, he's gonna have dinner. Like, guy's just on fire.
Right. Yeah, he's pretty wild and spread out there across what he does. And what he does like
Well,
top notch. There's like no cutting corners, he's gonna do it 100%.
Mad respect for that guy. And then his clutch of the Chondros recently with Tucker, Purple Rain, I mean, just awesome.
Yep. Yeah, those two coordinating back and forth. And they've known each other for years, that's part of it is, oh dang, Phil, now you made it. Oh God.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. He's just saying that because he's been on here and he feels me nipping at his coattails. I'm just right behind him.
It's gnawing on
Thanks
the
for dropping that link,
coattails.
Bosa, the ultimate supporter. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. We got the Pip set out there too. Ashley and Keita. Appreciate those guys.
Awesome.
So
yeah,
Phil,
a while back. Good stuff, man. I love seeing a community come together on these different podcasts, man. The growth together and the support together. That's where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing, really.
It is. Hey, there's Josh. There's my guy. Hey, we got to represent Naughty Business. Josh, having a ball. He is a show sponsor for my podcast. So
absolutely
super proud to have him on board. Always trying to pimp his product, get him out there, get that name spread, follow my Morph market. So thank you, Josh, for your support. Big time. I had some shirts made up. I got one. The printer screwed it up. He misspelled naughty. So I had to we were representing naughty properly here. So I had to get.
Is that painter's tape?
It's frog, dude. This is frog tape, bro. Come on, it's frog.
Okay.
I ain't gonna just come in with some hamster tape. This is frog tape.
Sammy's gonna be upset you didn't use the blue tape.
No, I got the green stuff. It was more expensive. What's up, Sammy?
Absolutely. That's funny. But yeah, it's good to have you on. And for those that maybe aren't familiar with you, do you have a little bit of an elevator speech you can kind of run through? I hate putting people on the spot for that. I mean, talk about yourself, Phil, and fill up some time here.
Totally fine. I'm vapid. I don't talk for hours. So it started about 10 years ago. I was touring with the Thunder from Down Under, around the globe, just wowing.
Sure.
No, man, for real. I started getting into reptiles about age 13, 14. I was in St. Louis where I grew up, and I just remember walking into a reptile shop that had like adult iguanas and stuff that were just mind-blowing because it wasn't out there at that point in 93, 92. Like, it was just new, and there wasn't hardly any retail spots. So I walked in and just fell in love, and I just ended up kind of got hooked. I had like dozens of reptiles in my little bitty bedroom. I was breeding Chinese water dragons in a big 5x4x2 enclosure we built, and I just got really into it. I worked at the biggest reptile shop in St. Louis for about a year and a half till it closed. The owner had health issues and it closed suddenly. But then I was a keeper at the St. Louis Children's Zoo back when they still had lots of animals. So I got to do, endangered species, echidnas and monkeys and lemurs and all kinds of stuff. And I was second in command of the reptile room, which was crazy at 17 because it was all like college students and literally vets. So I was really out of my element. So that's back in the mid 90s when I got into reptiles. And then I really wasn't involved with them in my 20s and 30s a lot, but I got back into them a decade ago with New Caledonia geckos. And in the last year and a half, I just decided to pursue my dream species of green tree pythons and Brazilian rainbow boas. Two things I never owned that I just love the hell out of since forever. So I just made the jump, and then I fell in love with the genetics of ball pythons. So I kind of backed into ball pythons, really, not the other way around. So that's kind of the short story of it, man. I've been back into them about a decade, but quadrupled my focus to just 3 species of snakes for breeding, just based on personal preference. And I didn't pay no attention to ball pythons for 25 years. I'm not kidding you. And then when I finally looked at them again recently, I was like, holy shit, what is going on? And now I've just trying to pollute my mind as much as possible with the science and genetics of it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. Well, that's a hell of a background. I mean, Jesus, you
I worked a
got a
decade
lot
as a
under
reef
your belt.
keeper too. I was a saltwater installation keeper in St. Louis for 5 years and in Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete for 5 years. I ended up being the GM by 27 of that company. I had like 4 or 5 guys full time on the road for me.
Jeez.
So
Okay.
yeah, I did
Did you
saltwater
enjoy
for a
the
decade.
Did you enjoy the zoo
It
job?
was
I mean,
awesome. It was really
yeah, I would
great.
think it would be.
Early, you got to get there early to clean cages. You got your own
Yeah.
little area to clean, so you get there pretty darn early. When you're a teenager, getting to work at 7 a.m. or whatever is tough.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah, would be
And
fun
that's
though, I
it.
would think.
In that experience, is there something in that whole foray that you decided I wouldn't prefer to never work with this again? Was there like a certain group that was just really problematic or just didn't agree with you?
I got bit in the neck once by a nutria. Does that count?
They're
Nice.
Ow.
pretty good size,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like holding a 4-year-old. That thing's a giant. It's like a beaver with a round tail, and that thing's got bright
Yeah.
orange buck teeth about as long as my fingers. And that
Wow.
joker bit me right over here. Yeah, I had a work comp claim, and they didn't ask me back the next summer, but that's probably why.
Yeah, that's not something you want to mess with the teeth end of. That's a
No.
huge set of chompers,
That's a big ass rodent.
right? I've kind of heard they're always pretty mellow though, right? I mean, was it just kind of a fluke or?
It was random. Well, we take them outside when we clean their enclosure. We took them out. There was big outdoor ponds, and so when they cleaned the ponds and put all fresh water in it, we would take them out and let them have kind of a free swim. Obviously, you stay with them; they don't run off. They're not fast, but we put them in a great big old pond, the size of a human adult swimming pool, basically in ground. And we put them in there to get them some exercise. And just transporting it, you got to hold them a certain way so their back legs don't cut the hell out of you. And you got to hold them with their feet between your fingers, keep them separated, and just hold them up by you for security. And for some reason, it just got spooked, and
Funky.
it is what it is. It was no big deal, but they don't like on the job injuries of minors, so
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
true.
So, but no group that like stood out and go, man, these are a pain in the ass. I'd rather never see these again. Like a lot of people say that about monkeys. Monkeys are adorable, they're cute, but when you get to working with them, they're like, boy, that's a nightmare. I don't need.
The monkeys on my route there in that room was they were pygmy marmosets. They were all in fashion in the 80s, the little finger monkeys.
Yeah.
So they were super tiny. There was a bunch of them, like 20 something in that cage. They were very cool. You could hand feed them and stuff. I never mess with them a lot because you don't want to get bit by a primate. So they were small. They weren't like anything. They weren't even a rhesus or, nothing macaque or anything big. So not terribly intimidating. The flying fruit bats, the flying foxes, woo, those things are huge in person and super cool, super mellow, super friendly. They were really neat.
Huh. Okay. But you say friendly. They actively seek your attention.
Oh yeah, they let you pet them and they close their eyes and get all squinty like a little chihuahua, and like they take food from your hand. You can hand feed them. And they just take their little winged arm out and reach it and grab for it, and like chunks of cantaloupe and stuff. Like they're super nice. They weren't aggressive or spooked at all.
That's crazy. I would not have imagined that. I think they just kind of be standoffish, if anything.
They were cool. We had a 3-toed sloth, and she was kind of. They would just hiss and like slowly hiss at you. They wouldn't do anything.
Slowly hiss.
Yeah, they got 4 conical teeth, and they're like 17 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they weren't very enjoyable. So I wouldn't work with sloths if I had a choice. We had wallabies. They didn't like people at all. Spiny echidnas were really cool. Meerkats were cool, but they can be bitey. And I got to work with birds of prey. So when you work there as a keeper, you have to get checked off by the management for an animal you can take into public to do touch and talk education, right? So once you have like 5 or more that you're checked off on, you can do a 4-animal show, which is what all the kids come to on the bus load on field trips, during the week. So it was pretty cool. I got birds of prey, big things like caracara, great big falcons from South America, to screech owls, to possums, to boas, to all kinds of stuff that was trained to be friendly that you could take around to the public and just they'd ask you questions, you educate them, you let them pet them, this, that, you control the interaction. And so there's single one-on-one walk around, and then there was the 4 animal show in an amphitheater. So I was like, 17 doing that stuff, and it was cool. I've always liked the education and like just seeing that wonderment in people's eyes, like that's a big thrill for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, at
absolutely.
17, getting out in front of people too, even if it's a group of kids. I mean, that's a really good experience. So
I've always been an idiot and a ham. I was the lead in high school plays from like freshman up, and I played varsity baseball freshman up. So I don't. I'm
just natural for you.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never shied away from it. So I don't know if it's a good
You were
thing.
you were supposed to pretend tonight, act like this was
Oh.
awkward and odd and
I'm
difficult.
very nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm really insecure right now.
Right, that just went out the window.
Slow hissing every once in a while.
Hey, there's Kurt Irresistible. What's up? I'm
Appreciate
so
Kurt.
happy to see all these people in the comments tonight. This is rad.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's a good group in here. I mean, generally we have most of the faces we're seeing tonight, so it's a good time and makes it feel worthwhile.
Heck yeah.
So you move from an environment like the zoo, right? You got all these different animals and stuff around you. How do you narrow out to like snakes? Like what was the decision behind that?
Dude, I was into fish. I've always been into cold-blooded things, I suppose. Ex-wives, fish, amphibians. So I started out, I was a fish kid. I had a big black-eyed, googly-eyed Moor from like age 4 to 9. Like I just kept that thing alive forever. And I don't know. I started with fish, and then I got into reptiles, I guess, when I was like 13, and I just got hooked, And I had everything from snakes to lizards, chameleons. I had chameleons and stuff breed, and I just didn't know enough then to incubate properly. Same with the Chinese water dragons, brown basilisk. I've always loved the green basilisk. They're flighty as hell, but they're awesome. I had sailfin dragons, which now are really expensive and rare. They probably weren't regulated at all back then. Philippine sailfin dragons. That was like a $50 animal from the pet store. That was like nothing. But now, looking at it, how rare and difficult those are to keep. I don't know. I just got into. I always like cold-blooded things and kind of a bird nerd and just a nature freak, man. From a little kid up, it's way too much PBS, Nat Geo.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've narrowed down. You've kind of come out of that. What do you currently keep? What do you have on your side that you're actively like maintaining?
I have one leopard gecko. That's my daughter's pet. I have one Chinese cave gecko in my 6-year-old Planet Vivarium. I've contemplated, breeding them, but just have had other focus that I don't know if I'll mess with it. I have one in there. You never see him. I put in food and Sasquatch eats it. You never get him on camera. Like it's just, he's happy though. It's a good environment. That's how he rolls. So those are the only two kind of gecko fringe things that I currently keep. And then I focus on chondros. I've got 2, third one coming this spring from Chuck of Chill Chondros, a good buddy of mine, former guest on my show. Super smart guy, super friendly, down to earth guy. I'll tell you all you want to know and get you in touch with the right people if you don't know. So I love Chuck. And on my second designer that I have currently behind me in the small cubes, that's from Carly, a coastal Morelia, who I have forced upon repeatedly. She's my mentor. She tells me no and blocks my phone calls. I say, damn it, you're my mentor. No, I'm kidding. She's super cool. She's actually from Jonesboro, Arkansas, where I'm from, even though she lives in South Carolina now. She's from here, and that's how we started talking. She reached out to me going, I didn't think anybody over there even knew about green trees, much less kept one. And so then we just started to become friends. And then I gave her a bunch of money, and I got a snake. So
yeah, kind of how that operation works.
Friends.
Right. That's a hell of a way for a mentor to work. Yeah.
Hey, you got to pay to play, man. You got to get in there somehow. The information ain't free, man.
Right. So you do chondros. You do ball pythons too. Is there anything else in the snakes?
I got Brazilian rainbow boas. I've always kind of been a purist. I've got a 1.2. I got a high red boy and a girl, and a high orange girl who's in between the two, kind of mid-size. She's just about 3 foot, I suppose. I got a big girl that's over 5 foot. In fact, she's been spreading urates in the past few weeks, which is a sign of trying to attract a mate. Rainbow boa breeding is messy, and
Okay.
so
Get their
she's
scent out
spreading.
there and let stuff know that, hey, it's time. Okay.
Yeah, almost. I see guys like Dave Calling, who's like OG of rainbow boas. I love the guy. I just love what he's done in that hobby and with the genes and the research of it. And it's watching just reading and watching some of his stuff. And yeah, he just ends up going on paper just because you need to be able to clean that enclosure out. When they get going, it's a mess. So, but my girl's
Okay.
been dropping urates without an actual bowel movement with it. And so I think she's trying to put off some signs. So I wish my male was bigger. I think I'm going to have to wait till next fall, next winter.
Gotcha. So you have not paired those yet. This is like going to be your
No,
entry into this. Okay.
my boy's just too small. I've got one girl who's right on the bubble. Next year she should be good and solid to do it, but she could go now. And if a male the right size falls in my lap, they don't get disrupted as much as moving a female does. So maybe if I find a rainbow male that's 3.5, 4, 5 foot, then we'll be go. But we'll see if I can catch that window this season or if it's going to be next cold weather. So.
Okay. So on the breeding side of it, how long are you into that scene? Are you working on just first pairings now, or do you have seasons
Yeah.
under your belt? Or okay,
Nope. First pairings for real, man. I'm just well versed in reptiles in general, but I only really made a drill down super focus to do it in the past year and a half. And
okay,
I had you start out buying stuff in your ball python collection. You look back and go, ooh, I'm gonna have a hard time moving those $50 snakes if I ever make them. So I actually took a huge step back. I moved out of all my largest ball pythons for the most part. At least 3 of them were ready to breed, 2,500 gram females, but she was a leopard pastel. There's no hets. Like, what am I gonna do? I didn't realize that going in, but then you always kind of learn and you learn, and all these great people kind of, Kyle Hoffman was the big one that kind of opened my eyes, hanging out with him on TikTok that helped me, and Jason at Basement Pythons, and they're really kind of like, if you have a budget, whatever it is, if it's $100 or 10,000 or 100,000, doesn't matter. Just take it and extrapolate it to your situation. Don't go buy 10 snakes for your budget. Go buy 3 really good ones. And
right.
so with that mentality, I kind of had to go, what am I doing wrong? So I would be breeding right now, but I moved off of some snakes that were just going to make stuff that was going to be hard to sell. Do the animals deserve it? Does the market deserve it? I think the answer is no.
Well,
So
and depending on when you bought it, it got tough too. Because if you bought it at the wrong time, there was a market, and it literally went away in like a year. So there was
Yeah.
that period that we just went through, which it's tough.
I was just going to mention that because the mentality when we came in 19 was completely reverse. It's like, just get your animals, learn how they work,
Yep.
produce clutches. You won't have any problem moving. Now that's the complete opposite. Like, you better have something worth selling when you pair these things up. You got to be focused, you've got to be narrow, and you got to go exactly reverse of how we came into it, or at least it
Yep.
feels like. So we
yeah,
made that change over time. We've shuffled out those animals that aren't going to be moving things forward. That's a tough thing to do when you came in and bought a bulk at the get-go, and it
yeah.
makes that shift on you. So
Especially at the prices of then in 2019 to 2021. I mean, I've been living in a buyer's market. I've gotten stuff I think criminally cheap compared to what people tell me they paid 3 years ago, and it's like, wow, this
right.
has been a really big buyer's market the last year and a half, and I'm glad I have hoarded what I have, and I just think that going into it, it's tough to have all the answers. You kind of have, if you get your first clutch under your belt and it's a pastel Enchi, cool, whatever. But it's good to get that confidence and experience. Can you keep the eggs from molding? Can you get your incubator dialed in? I mean, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely worth the practice of that. But I think I'm good on some of those aspects of it. I just didn't make the right gene planning, and so hopefully I've corrected that. I've chased a lot of Enchi, excessive Enchi, not all of it, excessive Enchi and pastel out of my collection, and focused on getting stuff with hets, or if I get codowns, make sure it's ones I'm really excited about.
Absolutely. Smart move. And shifting gears just a little bit because it did kind of come up, aka Big Papa. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or?
I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not
You're
sure.
just gonna
all
let that
new
one
to you,
slide.
huh?
You guys interpret that as you will.
Yeah. I think we got a
Okay.
news break there too. It sounds like Ashley's definitely going into the security business. She's gonna rent out or lease out fruit bats.
Right.
Yeah, like a cat, like a kitten room, but with fruit bats.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
actually be pretty cool, you know.
So, being you've kind of shifted out, got some of the stuff you didn't want to pair. You obviously had plans for 25. What are you putting together? What's your goal animals? What are you hoping for out of this year if you are pairing this year?
Yeah, I am. I do have some more. Some of them are a little more dependable. They're going to hit size and be ready come fall winter. Um, I have, I think, I've got four more animals. I think four more ball pythons, I should say. I have one green tree coming this spring from Chuck, but then if I get more rainbows, it's going to be just a male of breeding size. I have other plans for T positive caramel albino, but I'm gonna wait on that until I have some income generating from actual animal sales or enough product sales that justify going in on those. But that's kind of something that's not 2025. That's further down the line. But as far as ball pythons, I have four more, I think, coming. Two from Marcus Jane and two from Mills at the reptile pit in London. So I've got some pretty special animals to kind of finish out. And my wish list, I tell myself it's short until I put it down in writing. Then my wish list isn't so short. So, but for this year's pairings, I'll do the Brazilian rainbow boa we spoke of, right? The high reds.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Desert Ghost 100% het hypo and an Orange Dream 100% het hypo het Desert Ghost girl.
Oh,
So
nice.
that will be a pair. I have a hypo visual het tri stripe boy and girl going together, unrelated,
Okay.
two different lines, it's different
Some
appearance. So I've got a 1.2 in the hypo tri stripe project, and that's a co-project with my boy Dread, who couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah. Unfortunate. And we were going to mention that too. And I kind of got off topic right away. Excited to talk to you, but Dredd was going to come out and sit with you. You guys do the show together. You guys are always together in that atmosphere. And props to him for, being kind of the catalyst for that, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was his
Um,
idea. It was his idea for the show concept, and I just said, and then here we are.
yeah. So unfortunate. And we will have you both back on just for the sake of having you as a group and how you present, your show. We'll talk maybe a little more about naughty business when he's with us
Yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of more focus on you tonight, if that's all right. So,
Oh, man. I'm
yeah. So
cool with
he
it
had
either
some
way,
issues
brother.
come up and letting him off the hook. We're just going
Yeah,
to let him
tonight.
do his
Yeah, he has
family
family
stuff. And
stuff. There's sickness going on over there, so he's just tied up and whooped, so he couldn't make it. But yeah, I love that guy. We're brothers, man. He's in California and I'm in Arkansas, but yeah, we talk damn near every day. I mean, we're always in contact. So
yeah. So
he's
thoughts are
definitely
with him to get, healed up, and we'll definitely have you guys back in that regard as a
oh yeah,
pair like we
very cool.
intended.
But yeah, that's the
Um,
hypo tri stripe. We both have other stuff in the rack that is either got other things to bring to that. But our first goal for this year is just to get visual hypo tri stripe, which seems very obtainable. These are 100% hets,
Yeah.
and the male's got markers like I could show you. You wouldn't believe how that tri stripe het looks, and it is like halfway there. He is strong. So
nice.
I'm pretty confident we'll have hypo visual tries this year. But we'll work other stuff into it. But that's a pairing for this year. But that's the only co-project I have with anybody is with him.
Okay.
I'm doing an Orange Dream Enchi Clown to a Yellow Belly Leopard Enchi Jungle Woma Het Clown Het Pied.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm not pursuing the Pied, but the rest of it is what a project I love from Robert Barclay of England, out of England, called the Iron Man. And so
Yes.
I will hopefully Jungle Woma, Super OD, not just OD alone, will help crank that project up one more notch. So
Absolutely. Okay. The Jungle Woma is something that I think Woma got such a bad name with the hidden gene Woma and the Woma that when people heard Jungle Woma, they like veered so far around it. Nothing to do with, not related, and such a beautiful gene though.
It's ugly. It'll ruin your snakes. Don't ever buy it.
And that's kind of,
Damn
it
it,
got
John.
a bad relationship from that, right? I mean, I feel like that's what happened. That association was made, and there isn't one.
Entirely true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I
kind
think
of a shame, but
Justin, you might have heard of him, Kilbelka. He's a small time guy.
Yeah.
He's got a really cool video talking about it. That it's a really cool gene with a really unfortunate name. I think he
Right.
says the exact words.
Yeah.
It has no relation to hidden gene Woma. I don't know where the hell Woma comes from. I haven't ever researched it, but curse it, because that's just a kiss of death for that gene. And it shouldn't be. And full disclosure, I mean, it's a cleaning, crisping edge, brightening gene. I think it's pretty rad just as a freaking Jungle Woma visual. There is a super of it, which is also rad looking. I think it's underutilized. There's been some I'm watching that are just plain old Jungle Woma. I wish they had some more going on with them. But she's got it in her. That snake with all those, what is she, six genes? That is from Canova. That's the only Canova snake I have. But her yellow, she's what? Let's see. Yeah, yellow belly leopard, Enchi, Jungle Woma, het clown. And
wow. Yeah.
Het pied.
Cool
But I'm
looking
not gonna
girl.
buy that project.
Yeah. That's an awesome girl, honestly. Not a gene you see. I loved it. Everything I've seen it in, I've liked. So kudos to you on picking that up and running with it. Because
I hope so, and I hope to take that Iron Man. I even tagged Robert Barclaw in the Barclay. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I could spell it.
Barclay, I think, but
yeah, I could spell it for you, which is the hard part. But he even liked when I tagged him in a post. He don't know me from Adam, and I tagged him in a post about that, saying I can't find any Gen 2 Ironmans on the market. In fact, whenever I get lucky enough to have any besides holdbacks that will be available on that, I don't know if it's a $500 snake, a $100 snake, a $5,000 snake. I literally don't know the market value of it because the gene soup is not that complicated, but no one's doing it. But visually, that animal is a stunner. It's scorching bright yellow with a broken jet black mohawk. No alien heads. Talk about like a pet market home run. Like it may not be a breeder's home run, but what
that can shift really fast. You just got to make the right animal and everybody see it,
I think it's killer, and I hope Super OD and the Jungle Woma take it up to the next notch, and maybe count as a Gen 3 version of it for him, because he liked my post. I tagged him. He didn't. We have never interacted before, but I was just kind of happy. Like, all right, I didn't piss the man off who made this up. Right on.
So Woma, I think, and I could be wrong. Is it maybe an African region or tribe?
Is that right?
I'm kind of wondering if that's where the name.
I know it was an African gene they brought in, like Mills does over in London, my boy. Yeah, he takes stuff that looks weird in Africa and then spends time. Is it inheritable? Does it have a super form? What are the defects? And then spends a decade, 12 years doing that over and over. What happens if you add this little bit of garlic and this little bit of paprika? What changes? You have two busy genes and suddenly the animal's washed out. You didn't see that coming. Sometimes you can't predict that interplay, and it's really cool what Mills does. But I don't know. I don't know if that gene's going to catch on. There's just so many fringe genes that are kind of like people call dinkers, or they came from Africa, and then why some things gain popularity and some don't, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Okay, now your pairings. That's what you got going, or you got a couple more throwing in?
I got one last one for 25. That's an Orange Dream, 100% het hypo, het pied. And that's from Balls and Strikes. And that's a boy. And he's going to an Orange Dream Enchi pastel het pied and a Yellow Belly hypo het pied. So he's got two different girlfriends waiting for him this coming fall, winter.
Can't go wrong with pied stuff. To ask Jamie.
Especially Super OD and Hypo.
Right. Super OD will be good in there for sure.
Yeah, Hypo pieds look fantastic. You can't go wrong. So,
So
And
that's
it's a good
25,
base, right?
man. That's what I got going. Unless I get an adult female chondro, I've got a boy big enough to breed, but I don't have a girl that size. So unless I stumble across an adult female chondro or a big enough adult male rainbow boa, I'm stuck on those two for the time being. Not for very long, but for the time being.
Gotcha. So going through your little list, you brought up a couple names overseas. You got Marcus Jane, talked about Mills.
Yep.
Um, in that process, somewhere along the line, you decided, I want to do the licensing for this. I want to be import export licensed and
Yep.
be able to do that, right?
Right.
Um, how recent is that for you? When was that accomplished?
2 weeks ago, I finally got
Oh,
word back. It's just about a month ago or so. It took about 2 weeks to come in. So about a month ago, I officially applied, maybe 6 weeks at most with the government. And I did get my import export license. So I'm official above board. I've got a line of communication and pricing per box, which is the hardest thing. And you say box, it's not like when you go to FedEx and pick up a snake. A
right,
box
right.
from International. It's a crate up to 25 kilograms. That's a box. So I've
Yeah.
got pricing for each crate, um, what it takes to get through. Because there's stuff on importing. There's stuff that customs clearance brokers do that even with my little license number can't do. They have access to software with the airlines and crap and government border stuff and customs that I am not going to be privy to. So you still need a customs clearing agent. And I've got a relationship going with someone in Miami. So far, so good. I got a price, list, which is hard to get that information from people sometimes because they want to make sure they're not selling themselves short. So they kind of just
Mhm.
won't tell you how much it is per case to bring in. It's hundreds
Sure.
of dollars. I mean, it's a bunch. It's like $1,000 all said and told. Because basically you're just paying it's like you're a server at a restaurant. You got to tip the bartender, tip the busser, tip the food runner, tip the kitchen, tip the trash man, fuck everybody. So
Yeah.
that's what they do, but it's government paperwork, and you just got to pay the customs, pay USDA, pay this, pay that, and so it adds. It's just it's hard to get your arms around all those numbers at first, but yeah, I will be importing and exporting. I do have that's a different thing. I don't know all the nuances of exporting yet. I'm focusing on importing for now. Get a little experience, get a little savvy, in the game to how that goes, what are the pitfalls, and then take the next step forward. Don't bite off more than I can chew.
That's a big
Absolutely.
deal, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. It could just be a
Yeah.
useless.
Well, it, you got to make it one, but I mean, that is a hurdle. So
It's
congrats,
and
man.
something a lot of people don't even want to approach. I mean, we've thought
Right.
about animals and even just getting single animals. We're like, do we really want to do that? If the pricing's close, do we want to fight with the borders? It's a thing that is on a lot of people's minds. You see these markets, you see the animals out there, and you go, what all's involved with it? It's kind of a black area unless you really look into it.
Yeah, it's got to
Um,
be something special, I think. I've looked at some. My next import from Europe, Pip Stalkers, is going to be it's lined up for March, and it has been since November. It should be stuff coming in from London, not from Europe. I wish it was mainland, but that's a lot more messy now since they went with the whole Brexit thing. So England is like its own entity compared to Europe now. So as far as stuff from like Prague morphs and things, I don't have a line with any of that. My stuff is UK. My stuff so far is UK based. I've toyed with some other countries in the Far East, and then Canadian stuff is a lot more eminent. But
okay.
yeah,
And you have a Marcus Jane list floating around now that you're kind of trying to
I
get
do.
a group together with, right?
I
Okay.
do. Yeah, amazing animals, and people definitely email me is because that's the cleanest way. It's a Google spreadsheet doc, and it's cleanest
Okay.
in email. I've tried sending it in Instagram messages, and sometimes unless you copy paste, the link don't work right. I don't know why, but in email it's super clean. So I'm just constrictly.business at Gmail. I own
Okay.
Constrictly Business like everywhere. Nobody had made up that. I made up a word, and like Mark Twain. I just made up a word. So yeah, it's all anything Constrictly Business is me. But yeah, it's just constrictly.business at Gmail, and I'll shoot you the list. It's a living document. It's a Google spreadsheet. So when I make an adjustment, next time you look at it, that adjustment's already there, so it doesn't get outdated. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff on there. Now, shipping is to be determined. That's the one part that might scare people, is because if I import 5 or 6 animals, then shipping is pretty high for each snake.
Yeah.
But if I get enough people, hey, let's get 20, 30 animals from Marcus Jane, because there's over 100. There's like 115 on that list. And these aren't on Morph Market. He's not, and I have pictures upon request. I have a list of data. You read the genes and you know who made them. You know it's a badass animal. But if you need pictures, I can get them, but it's a per request thing. I don't just have a picture catalog. Marcus Jane's having me do this, or, through with Mills and with myself. We're selling here and in London because he's a busy guy. He didn't want to mess with all the stuff that goes into every single post on Morph Market, right? So I've got this kind of clearinghouse list from him. It's like 115, 120 animals. And yeah, I'll be happy to share that list. And there's stuff on there. I don't have any markup on it. It's from 370 US dollars. And there are a couple animals for 9Gs, but there's some killer animals for 370, 595, and 795 price points. And I mean stuff that's triple that if you find it on Morph Market and it wasn't made by Marcus Jane. So you take
absolutely
worth. There's
that
stuff
3
on
to
there half
400.
price.
Yeah, in that 300 to 400 range on that list, there's some really nice animals.
Dude,
for that price.
There's 2 I'm getting, and I'm not making any markup. In fact, that's his MSRP. If I was to go, oh, I'm going to make another $100, guess who finds out is Mr. OG Marcus Jane, and I just pissed off a very powerful man. There's no markup. That is his list, his price. The shipping is to be determined. So I can't. Morphic wants Bambino. I can get you. I got a line. That's someone wants Bambino. I'll touch on that. I got Bambino available. But Marcus Jane stuff is really incredible, and I'm going to pay what you guys pay. The same price you see is the same price I'm paying. But the more of us that get it one chunk into the U.S. at once, that takes your shipping going from $250, $300 per animal to $75 or $100 or whatever. Much more manageable because it's one crate, and that's what I have to import is one crate, and that's a flat amount. So when you divide it by a larger number of animals, it's, just basic math. We all pay less. Myself, you, whoever gets a snake pays less shipping the more that we buy in. It's going to be open till early March, and I think we're going to shut her off. And then we're hoping people hit their tax returns. They got some money burning a hole in their pocket and want to get some Scrambler.
Yeah.
Want to get some Barnhart, with Scrambler, some DG, some MJ Xanthic. MJ stands for Marcus Jane. He made it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the real deal. It's on that list.
It's a great list. And if you are interested, definitely reach out because we've seen it. It's a fantastic list. I know there's animals on there people want. So,
and I thought the prices were shocking. Like,
yeah, they're pretty decent for sure.
Super reasonable. Yep.
Ashley
did mention
caveat is that shipping, and I think that kind of can scare some people because it is I can't promise you your shipping's 100. I can't promise you it's 300. I can't promise you it's 75. I don't know yet, and I think that's a little bit of a variable that might be a little, scary to people and put them off. But thus is the nature of imports. It's not going to Petco, man. It's a different beast.
Yeah. So Ashley mentioned the guy they are trying to buy from is in London, so she is going to reach out to you on that. She had a comment up there earlier. So,
was that about Bambino?
No. They were curious about seeing if you could get a connect somehow from London.
Oh yeah, Pip Stalkers. Yeah, please. Yes, please. Let me know. I will find out whatever I can. I see that in London. Yep. And I have a shipment which could save you if it just depends on how it works out, but I could save a ton because I am having a shipment come here nonetheless. Whether it involves Marcus Jane animals or not, is coming from London to me in March for a variety of reasons. I'm probably going to be having some of Mills Thacker's reptile pit animals I'll probably vend some smaller shows and have some animals of his available. And in fact, I do have the only available Bambino snakes that is from his collection that pioneered that gene. I have some available as well. So
nice.
There's a lot of options for people if they want to take their project to the next level and do something that's a new gene that's new to market and hopefully make a lot of money, as they produce babies. Then there's an opportunity there. So just hit me up. I have all kinds of people that I'm dealing with right now, just trying to network and make a go of it. I get a thrill out of that myself.
Absolutely. Going to hit one more thing before we put you in the hot seat. I
Mm.
do want to talk about your transfer and just completely getting away from animals now and going to your podcasting side of it, because you did really nice numbers over on Instagram. I mean, you guys were popping over there. Excuse me, TikTok, not
I know what you
Instagram.
mean.
You had to shift. You had this governmental thing coming, talking about close downs, and it's a scary deal, right? You think, well, everything I've put into this is disappearing tomorrow. So you made a mental decision. You're going to go shift everything to YouTube.
Yeah.
How has that been? How big a pain in the ass was this to make this move? Are you liking it? Are you disliking it? Pluses, minuses? Can you talk to both platforms and kind of give your
Yeah.
insight on them?
I feel like TikTok Live is easier just to get up and running. As any old amateur like myself, just kind of hit the go live button on your cell phone and look at it. I mean, it's super simple as far as hardware and then their own app software. I felt like it's getting your computer, your tower, your laptop involved, and then I got a microphone, and a separate camera and separate speakers, and so you're piecemealing out what your cell phone all has sitting inside of it. You're piecemealing it out into different components. So it's trickier to figure all that. I'm not that techie, so to figure out how to get all that to play nice was a bit tricky for me. I find I've always had an eye on YouTube. I always wanted to do simulcast, where I could have a live on TikTok and YouTube. That was
Right.
really a goal, but I was kind of intimidated by YouTube, and I always thought of it as the premier place that anybody worth their grain of salt should end up doing this kind of stuff. So I'm happy to be there. I feel I can tell you for sure my videos on YouTube that are native to it, that are done live on YouTube, tons and tons and 10 times more views than when I took my TikTok recordings and just booted them up later after the fact.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
That was going to be one of my questions, is like, is there something going native here that's a benefit rather than
ton
being there
more
and kind
like
of copying?
views as far as comparing YouTube past to YouTube now for me. Way more views, way more likes, and I feel like it's just a more serious audience. Just like comparing like your reels and your posts from TikTok to Instagram. Instagram's a much more professional, serious format where there's a lot more critical eyes on you. TikTok's to me, more of a play zone, more of a goof off.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's pros and cons to both. There was, we'd have 1,500 to 8,000 people come through and view the lives. We always get 15,000 to 120 something, 140,000 likes per live episode, which is like an hour, 2.5 hours, however long it lasts. But it's not apples to apples. It's not the same as YouTube. The like button, you can spam your screen and count thousands of likes for one viewer. So it's not
Oh, gotcha.
apples. So it's a bit
Okay.
skewed of a statistic. But the number of viewers watching live is fairly even to compare. And there was some lives I'd have 650, 800 people watching all at once in the lobby, and the reach was 250,000.
Wow. Yeah.
Man,
See those numbers. That's nuts to me.
yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just not the same staying power for longevity. If you're really going to be someone networking and trying to educate or build some kind of longer lasting entertainment value, even if you say screw the education, I'm just here to have fun, the YouTube lasts and gets so many more plays compared to the TikTok. So
Gotcha.
I don't know, man.
And
Apples and oranges.
is there a way? I'm completely unfamiliar with TikTok, I'll be honest. So is there a way to catalog your stuff, or it's live and it's gone? Like,
It has 30 days, and that's what you had to download it to your phone. Then I trim off the beginning and the end where it's kind of clunky getting started up and finishing, and then resave that to your phone and then upload it to YouTube. And that process just took me 12 seconds to explain, but it takes an hour of real life because there's always something will hose up, it don't work. So it was definitely a lot of legwork to put videos post-mortem up on YouTube afterwards. We missed the first 3. I don't have my first 3 episodes on there. We started July 24th at 24, and ironically, by the end of the year, we had 24 shows. Couldn't have planned that.
So,
No.
so, but on the TikTok, so once you get your video up there, is it like YouTube where it's there? I mean, it just stays, or is it's just a timed thing and then it's gone?
People are live and they see it.
Yeah.
I can go, and then after that, it lives in my app only,
And that's it. Okay.
and it lasts for 30 days, and after that, it ages off, and it's gone forever. Yeah. So I can make highlights, and in my Instagram, highlights of each of the guests that I do. There'll be snippets of the shows from when I was in TikTok, doing that still. So there are, and I can go in there and custom cut and pair out those snippets as much as I want, or you can download the whole kit and caboodle, which is what I did, and then just shove them onto YouTube later.
Sure.
Next to nobody watched them. I had hoped. I'm finding that the TikTok community doesn't cross over a lot to the YouTube community, which was surprising to me because I'm like, well, I feel like everybody's YouTube community, but there's some people are like, no, I'm not going there, man. I never watched it. And I'm like, what'd they ever do to you?
Right.
Right.
I know it's somewhat generational because I know some of the newer generation, and man, it's TikTok or nothing. No Instagram, no YouTube. Maybe they kind of got into the Twitter thing a bit too. The age group I'm looking at, but TikTok was kind of the primary. It still is. So that's not super surprising to me. But
that's wild to me. But the upside to the TikTok is the fresh eyes. If you're talking about that many concurrent viewers, that many likes being spammed in, you do have the opportunity for those fresh eyes. That it's a slow grind on YouTube. Bringing in fresh eyes, getting new viewers in YouTube is a ton of work. So,
and I haven't given up on TikTok. I just don't do my weekly live show naughty business on there. I mean, we still do live hangouts. I get about 50 new followers every time I go live for an hour or two during the day and do snake chores and answer questions. Literally, I get 30 to 50 followers every time I do that. I will say monetization's gone down. They've changed some of their rules. I think I've heard people can't re-up their money on TikTok since the ban and the reinstatement, which would explain why they don't have any money to throw gifts. Because I'll spend 2 hours on there and make literally $1. I'll make a nickel. Where in the past it'd be $7 to $20. I mean, but there's people that were doing this, bro, that make thousands a month, and I don't just mean like $2,000. I mean like $10,000 or $15,000 or $50,000 a month, literally.
Yeah.
But their content's different. We've always kind of just ground away at an organic community. I don't really. Me and Dredd, we just aren't like that goofy. Well, one, we're not like 25-year-old hot chicks, so there's that one.
There is that, yeah.
Right.
So that was hurdle number 1.
But did they know anything about Big Papa? I mean, that could have been an angle, I mean.
I haven't played up that angle, but maybe I should reconsider.
Yeah.
I should reconsider. Yeah, no, man. You can get on there and really be goofy. And I see people just sitting there dispensing information all the time. And sometimes it's not always accurate. And they do get a lot of followers. They have surpassed me. I've only got like 6,000 followers. But, there's people that are newer than me that come on there doing reptile stuff, but they're just a different vibe than I am. And so I see them 10, 20, 30,000 followers. And I'm like, well, crap. Well, maybe I'm not so good at this. But we just kind of stuck to our guns, man, and just this is our content. You're either gonna, and our fans were rabid. Our average, there's a bunch of nerdy stats, but one that really sticks out, and I'm trying to make it sound too lame, the average viewer for a live is 30 seconds. This is from my manager in my TikTok agency. This is stuff I can't see from my app. I'm not making it up. He goes in the backside as the agency and can see stats. They're a partner with TikTok, and that's how I got to go there to New York and everything. But he could see that average viewership, which is just a static fact, is like 30 seconds for a live. Whether your live is 10 minutes or 10 hours, 30 seconds is the average viewership. We were over a minute and change. So to double which sounds dumb. Oh, someone watched your show for a whole minute, but you have to understand there's billions of users worldwide.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that average is really hard to move that needle at all. So to be
Right.
more than double the average viewer time is a huge thing that maybe it doesn't equal dollars and cents in my pocket, but what it means is like we had really dedicated fans who really came there for the content. And that is what matters to Dredd and I.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I was kind of hinting at with those numbers. You are going to hit that oddball small percentage where YouTube, you don't even get them to come in. But if you had those numbers of people to come watch your show, it'd probably be pretty comparable. You just don't get them in the gate.
Yeah,
Where it seems like TikTok, that gate's wide open. People just stroll through like
it is.
a amusement park or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. The viewer time though is way different. I mean, that's not even in the same universe.
Yeah.
There's
No.
nobody coming on these shows for 30 seconds or a minute. You know what I mean? On
Right.
YouTube, they're hanging out. So
Yeah.
that is weird, but again, not super surprising if you think about the stuff that's on there and people are just going from video to video to video.
It
Yep.
is. Yeah. It is. And so, and then there's an
Oh,
army of,
thanks.
there's about 10, 20 people that have been really awesome, staunch supporters. I mean, I don't even insult them with the word fan. I mean, it started out with someone that was like attracted to the information and then just kind of believed in the mission. And then I post stuff, they always repost it. They always share it. They get in the comments and be like, hit that like button, blah, blah, blah. And these are just people that were just started hanging out and watching the show. And they just came back week after week. And, you know, we made them all moderators. Moderators are a little bit different than on here. You can't drop links on TikTok, but moderators keep the riffraff and the rude folks out of the comments. And so, you know, people that we trusted and that we knew, that we made them moderators, and they've just been awesome. They did a lot of heavy lifting for us, and they didn't make a dime out of it. They just did it because they like what Dredd and I put on the screen and how we interact with them. And I mean, just very flattering, you know, from where I sit. It's just really cool that people find anything I have to say interesting. So
Yeah. So in hindsight, better to take your weekly show here, keep that based in the YouTube side, and do your snake cleaning. Have your fun lives, just the kind of on the drop stuff pop over there. Keep that active. Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
And I'm doing Instagram with, and I took some words of advice from Emilio. I was in the V unit. I suspended that subscription because I've been poor as hell, but I was in his Patreon and for many months and learned a ton and about the photography of the animals and how to make the best presentation, especially with ball pythons. And so I still have a few more to go, but catalog, I have 23 ball pythons now. So not a terrible amount, but they're all very, aside from one, it's my daughter's pet. The rest are all very purpose driven. They're here for a reason. And they're all breeding stock. And so there's no ifs or maybes or dinkers. Like they are here and they have genes or they don't. They're not here. That's it. That's it for me. So I'm keeping
Right.
a very narrow collection. And I just kind of took that and now I use Instagram more as a portfolio of what's more serious. Like I use it more for networking, you know, with podcast groups and people like yourself and other people professional that I admire or that we are chummy. So I use Instagram and try to display myself. I was using TikTok videos and just regurgitating them on the Instagram. And then I started learning some more, like Instagram throttles back your videos if there's watermarks on it, i.e. that little TikTok thing that bounces around. Doesn't get as
Sure.
much exposure. So now I'm doing it the other way. I'm focusing more professional, even if my edits are more boring, because they are. They play better on Instagram, and I feel like that's a more, maybe it's not lucrative right now today, but in the long term, it's more lucrative because it greases wheels, it interests buyers,
Sure.
it increases how am I valid, am I doing a good job, are my animals healthy looking, am I transparent? And then people I hope to buy from, I'm keeping tabs on. Oh well, shit, that guy's got that in his collection. Oh,
Mhm.
next year when I got that money and I'm gonna hit him up, and I'm just kind of keeping tabs. Instagram's much more serious networking for me. TikTok's playland, and YouTube is I do some shorts, but naughty business show. So they're very. And then Facebook is dead to me. I don't give a shit about Facebook. It's so dead.
Right.
Yeah,
I've never
agreed,
done.
yeah.
I've been Twitter paid it since it was created. I've never tweeted a twat, Twitter, whatever you call it. I don't know.
Yep.
I've
We
never
got support there. Revel says, yeah, trial and error, and you're doing awesome, Big Papa. So just hang in there.
I love it when you come with this.
All right, so we're going to make the shift. And maybe Big Papa's one of these hot seat questions, but Jamie's been itching back there. She had these ready for you. Are you, sir, ready for the hot seat?
Jamie,
Yeah.
trivia.
I mean, I took my medicine. It shouldn't be too hot, but I'm all right. I'm all right.
All right. Well, let's get it fired up.
Trivia cannot be what is Phil's nickname. That's
No.
That's a no-go tonight.
Take that off the list, Jamie.
Hey,
All right.
there's a TikTok fan. What's up, buddy? I'm
Hot
ready.
seat time.
For the hot seat. Let's bring it on.
Let's play the game.
It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. Ha ha ha. Let's go.
Hello.
Hola, ¿qué pasa?
I don't know Spanish.
Buenas noches, señorita.
I know sí, señor. Is your
Okay.
chair getting warm?
Nah.
Nah. All right. We'll see if we can heat it up for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This one's really tough.
Oh boy.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Oh, it is tough. Stumped him.
Moose tracks.
Oh, yeah, that one's really good. Ultramel or Xanthic?
Oh God!
Oh,
Mortally wounded.
stabbed him in the heart.
Oh. Xanthic.
Okay, I like that one too. I like them both. It'd be a hard choice. for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
If you could give your daughter one superpower, what would it be?
She has them all already. There's nothing. I mean, she's already amazing.
Oh,
One
she's a little queen bee.
superpower. Infinite wealth, so she's got all the other tools, man. She's an awesome kid. If she got infinite wealth,
She's good. She's
can
golden.
do anything she wants.
Very good. I like it. Crusties or Leos?
Cresties.
Would you rather be able to sing or paint?
Yes, I do both very well.
Do you?
I'd pick singing.
Okay. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, firefighter. I did that for a decade. I wanted to be a
Okay.
firefighter. So that's why the heat doesn't bother me, see?
Right? You're immune.
Yeah, I got turnouts. I will go put them on right now. I was a fire medic for a decade in big cities. So.
Big Papa knows how to work the hose.
Is that HOES or HOSE? Does it?
No comment. Oh, TikToks or Reels?
Man, I'm liking reels more now. You asked me a few months ago, I would have said the opposite.
Yep. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Ooh. Gosh, I always keep it so fresh and innovative. I don't have a go-to. I was always something new. How about, David Bowie's China Girl.
Okay, very good. Maybe we can get a little behind-the-scenes preview later. Beach or mountains?
God, you're killing me with these. The only two places I really want to live in the U.S. is on the beach or in the mountains. Mountains.
Mountains. Would you rather be super fast or super strong?
Super strong.
Yeah.
But I don't got far to go, so.
If you could instantly become an expert at any skill, what would it be?
Money management.
Growing the money tree.
Don't tell Dad. Craig's in the comments. Don't tell Dad. Don't tell Dad. He'll be disappointed in me.
What is your least favorite genre of music?
Country.
All country? Do you like old country though?
Nope.
Sometimes that's
Nope.
good.
I have a
No,
respect for
just
Johnny Cash or Hank Williams Sr. or something like that,
okay.
but nope.
That's as far as it goes.
Nope.
Got you.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Okay. Amusement park or state park?
State park.
In your opinion, what's the best thing about having a daughter?
When she runs up and goes, "I love you, Daddy," and jumps in my arms with both feet in the air.
Yeah. How old is she?
9. Turned 9 at Thanksgiving.
Okay. Very cute. That's a fun age. Who is your biggest role model in the industry as of now?
I would say, gosh, it's tough. I would say Socrates, the chondro breeder.
Okay.
RELE Max Arboreals in South Florida. Socrates, I mean, the experts, the big dogs, they go to him when they need answers. That guy's, he's a Zen master, both in life and in his snake breeding. And what a beautiful family, and what just a grounded individual who he's just a badass dude. I've never met him. I've had no interactions with him. Hopefully one day, but yeah, I would say
shout out to Socrates. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you pick?
Any?
Yep.
Gosh. Dale Gribble.
Oh, who the F is that?
What? Dang it, Bobby. I sell propane and
I'm gonna have to
accessories.
Google.
King of the Hill.
Oh, okay.
No, that's Boomhauer. I don't know. No, Dale Gribble is the one that's always like the conspiracy theorist guy with the sunglasses.
I love a good conspiracy theory. What would you like to accomplish in 2025?
Some successful snakes on the ground, man. Some baby snakes. That's really what we're shooting for right now. I'll
Yep.
feel a whole lot better. A lot of things. We get some of these clutches squirming around outside the egg or the belly, depending on the species, and things will be good. Everything else is going according to plan.
Yes. Can't ask for anything better than that. If you could go back and talk to little Phil, what would you tell him?
Don't do drugs, stay in school, eat your salad, lift weights, and save your money. I don't know.
Those are excellent answers.
Stay in college.
Yeah.
Don't drop out of college. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's good. If you could relive one childhood memory, what would it be?
Lord. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I was this only kid till I was about 7. So I guess when I was like, I would say like 5 to 7, like that age, just with my mom, because you're old enough to be cognizant and like have memory. And it was just like really cool. We were poor as hell and just spent tons of time together. And it was like good times, man. You learned the real meaning of life, like going for a walk was fun when you're a little kid. Little did you know, it's because we was broke, but mom made it fun. You know what I mean? Like, go out there and see the world and see nature and like just explore. And so growing up in that time frame, she's a really strong woman. And that time frame. No, I love my little brothers. Don't get me wrong, but I just as a little kid, as a memory, I think that one's pretty untainted. And I was old enough to still remember it, kind of a thing. Whereas like you get older, you get social pressures, you got chores and everything
peer
else.
Pressure,
It all goes downhill from there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I know. It's unfortunate for sure. The last question in the hot seat. I know you're melting over there. What would you like to be known for?
Being a nice person.
Yeah.
Someone that's fun to hang out with, and this is a nice person that people just trust. I'm just not in the gossip. I don't hell, if you tell me a secret, I probably won't even remember it, so I can't tell anybody else. So your secret's safe with me. I'm just going to be a nice person that people are like a go to. I don't want to be. I don't want to be everyone's problem solver. I don't.
Yeah.
But I just want to be someone that people can go to that is someone they think is good to get along with, is trustworthy, and for better or for worse, I am what I am.
That's perfect. You did excellent. I normally talk a little more, but I have a terrible tickle and I need to excuse myself to get a cough drop.
Go for it. That time of year. You all right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened?
I think that was her telling me to switch screens, and I wasn't picking up on it. I thought she was going to say her typical closeout, but she left it in the dirt. So we're back, and you survived it. That last question had me going, though. I truly thought your answer was going to be, I would like to be known as Big Papa from here on out.
Well, that's already a given, John. That's already out there. So I have nothing more to achieve. That's good.
I can't let that one go, man. That just kind of floored me right out of the gate when she popped in with that. So
that was great.
It was a good share. I dug it.
Are you guys aren't making Atlanta, are you? Right? Too far?
We are not. It's timing more than distance. I mean, we did Daytona. We've done some other stuff like that. We just can't get down there this time of year. Too much going on with our weather up here kind of demands us to be here in a weird way. Yeah. And we have those like negatives. We got to make sure like every day is well monitored. We don't have the means to fill our spot.
It's so cold.
I know it's a tough gig, but it does make things tough if you don't have a reliable person that can come over probably twice a day and make sure that everything's tip top and running. I mean, you don't have long in those kind of temperatures before it goes really wrong. So it's a little bit of that. And then timing out some other things. We're finishing up our facility. We've got that work to do and get completed before spring. So ton of stuff.
Oh, look at that. Vance got a full circle moment. I am from Missouri. I'm from St. Louis, and he knew a buddy named Bobby Hill.
Oh, man, I bet he hated that.
Well, I am going to be at the Atlanta show.
Okay.
I did have an anonymous sponsor for us to go there, so I'm doing that. I do have Rich of Python Antics out of New Mexico, Rich Wooten. He sponsored travel and any kind of swag he once handed out for the Memphis, South Haven, Mississippi Repticon. And then the Herp and Harbin sponsored doing that in a Daytona. So I'm going to Daytona for sure. I absolutely have to go to Dallas because I'm going to Bill Stiegel's Chondro party at his house this year.
Nice. That'd be badass.
Year, from his own mouth. He's like, man, you should have came the night before. And I was like, I didn't want to just crash and invite myself. So I'm definitely going. Hey, there's Ripper Reptiles. That's my dude off. That's a TikTok friend right there. Ripper. What's up, brother?
Nice. Hey, hit the sub button and keep joining us. All kinds of good shows.
Always good. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to – I got to go to Dallas. I'm hoping to make Tinley, still have sponsorship. If people – and I'm not trying to make a profit. It's just to cover travel expenses, and all that can be spelled out. But we give people a 6-week advertisement window leading up to it. They'll get pimped constantly for sponsoring that show. It's 6 weeks. And if they have coupons or shirts or stickers or anything, they want funny video cameos, whatever, with the public, with vendors, it's their call. I'll do that at the show for them, whether it's handing out merch or coupons, whatever. But then they get 6 weeks of promo leading up to it. So if anyone's interested, a new one on my radar is the Reptile and Plant Expo in Nashville. I think it's in May. That's a new stop for them. It's only 4 hours from the house where I sit, and I really want to go to that one. So there's a few more sponsorships open. I'm only doing one per show because it's hard to believe, but I make all this magic happen by myself. So I'm a one-man band. And I won't be doing justice to a sponsor if I had 2 or 3 or 4. I feel like that would be greedy. Like, give me the money, give me the money. I feel like that would be stupid. So I'm just doing one per show, and they get my full attention. And that way I just have one person in their interest to focus on to attend a show if I'm lucky enough. I went to St. Louis and Dallas. I've been to probably, over 150 reptile shows in my life, but
Yep.
Really making a networking thing out of it now. So
Very
Nice.
cool.
That's a good move. And in our pre-show, a little bit in the green room, if you want to call it that, you talked a little bit about products too. You're carrying a couple different products we'd kind of like you to put out there if you don't mind.
yeah.
Put you on the big screen and talk a little bit about it.
what's
Big
the
Papa
comment about groupies?
does not have groupies to help? Question mark.
I don't. I just have one girlfriend. I have no groupies. I mean, if you ask her, there's probably a lot of groupies trying to beat down the door, but it's sad. There's not. Nobody wants to be my groupie.
Right.
So I do
So
have
yeah,
a couple of things out here now. We got Da Vinci. That's the 100
nice.
bottle and the 60 bottle. Got these in stock. They are 10% off MSRP. You're hard to find them, much less get your hands on them. So shoot me, a DM on Instagram is a great way to get a hold of me, and we can get these shipped out. $8 flat shipping to lower 48 US. So it's pretty affordable. I've got the custom box and everything for it. But yeah, Da Vinci, a great supplement. It's endorsed by Billy Rose of Mutation Creation, Bob Vu, Bob's Balls. Those are some of the big names that have gone on record with written testimonials. And yeah, she does. My girlfriend does look like her. It's pretty crazy. But these are available. I just got these a couple days ago. I've been waiting for a few months for them to come in. So it's finally arrived. So I have those for distribution. If someone wants to get up with me, if they're going to be at Atlanta, you can get them together now with me, and then I'll just bring them. I can't sell them inside the venue, of course, but I can meet up with you. If somebody wants to get them and save shipping, I will be at Atlanta Saturday, all day, open to close, and then a little bit Sunday morning. I've got a couple of interviews there with Craig of Bashcoder, the Whiskey Bomb Network, and Micah Herb Collectors. I'll be doing that live in Atlanta. Couple of
Nice.
interviews.
That's awesome. Okay.
And then I have this. It's a 2-shelf rack. I don't have it. I have to move a lot to move it. This is a PVC. It's all recycled. It's 100% recycled material. It's got a high gloss white outside, so it's pretty easy to clean. It's from the Reptile Pit from London. And it has a metal plate that's recessed for your heat tape, which I custom cut and wired. It's ready to go and plug in for you. Anyhow, it's only 10 pounds. It's super light. It's really good and rigid. And it holds 3. Each shelf can hold 3 V18s, so a total of 6 for hatchlings.
Okay.
It's by Vision tub. Or it can hold 4 total, 2 on each shelf of the V15 by Vision, or 2 total of the V35S. So it's a great
Gotcha.
rack for beginners or someone that has a small amount of ball pythons. These come bigger. He's got these floor to ceiling and big racks in London, but we're just starting with his most popular model, the 2-shelf, and it's great for someone, even geckos, other colubrids. Maybe that's not going to house an adult ball python, but you've got a few years in this thing, so it's a great way to get something that isn't a giant, massive rack like you see behind me if that's not your bag, and it keeps
Absolutely.
it keeps it nice and tidy, gives them the right environment they need.
What's the heat system in there, Phil?
A heat tape from Reptile Basics.
Okay.
Yep, Reptile.
So
Basics.
like a 3-inch,
It's
3-inch,
actually
4-inch.
It's actually a 6.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's the slot. That's CBD for snakes. There you go. That's right, David. I didn't design that channel. It's just how it came to me. But I do like a wider, bigger heat source that works less hard. It's like, I always use the analogy. It's like taking a moped and redlining it to hit 60 miles an hour on the highway. How long is that engine going to last at 9,000 RPMs?
Right,
But
right.
you take a regular car out there and do 60, 70 miles an hour. Well, it can do 120, 130, no problem. You're not working that engine as hard. It's going to last longer. So I like a bigger heat source that's underworked. Just my own.
Gotcha.
So that you've got room to spare if it does get colder. So it's a 6-inch white heat tape, and it would come wired, riveted, wired, the right way, just to the size of those 2 shelves. It's $225 just shelves alone, $245 with the heat source wired and ready to go for each of the 2 shelves. And they are 2 separate plugs. So if you wanted to run 2 temps, you could. Like, say you had 2 different animals or 2 different species.
Sure.
But yeah,
Super reasonable.
Yeah,
And a
we're
great start for someone. I mean, this is something that we could literally put out there to a lot of people we sold to in the first
Yeah.
year or two,
Oh, absolutely.
because they
Yep.
they put them and they jam them in a 10-gallon aquarium or something. And this
yeah.
is far better starting point than that in our mind.
I
Not
see.
that you can't do things correctly in a tank, just it's a lot more difficult to make that
It is.
transition.
It is. And we do have the dark tubs. I'm working out getting the shipping costs whittled down from Vision. So we might work on just drop shipping straight from Vision tubs straight to your door. Like I would ship this physically to you. I've got 3 or 4 here on hand. I would ship this physically to you and then drop ship, put the order in your behalf and drop ship tubs from Vision to you. They can come in gray. They have clear, opaque, semi clear, or they have gray tubs, but in that brand, and they come with vents or deli cup holders, and or none, whichever. It's hard.
Hmm.
It's expensive for me to have all that full catalog because when you do, what is it, 3 or whatever variations of each size of 2
Right.
colors, it's
Yeah.
it's what do I need, like 19, 20 different tubs, like, and I have to have a quantity of each of them. That gets to be pricey, and we'll get there. We will do that. So when a customer's like, I need, 3 clear this and 1 gray that, I can just boom, boom, boom. But for right now, just getting it started and making sure it's going to be a go, it's a little bit more piecemeal. But the tubs are Vision. We can get them in gray, with or without vents, with or without deli cup. It's easily done. So
Okay.
you want gray dark tubs, we can get them.
So
Does the
best
rack come
bet.
in a Sorry, John. Does the rack come in a
Oh,
different color, or is it just the white option?
It is just the white. It is just
The
the
white.
white. It is 100% recycled material, and I think if anybody, would have, everyone that's into animals and reptiles and exotic pets generally is pretty ecologically minded, right? So
Yep.
the fact that this is recycled material is a plus. It's lighter weight. It's 10 pounds, just a tick under 10 pounds when it's assembled with screws. So
gotcha. Yeah,
yeah,
that's super
Agreed,
light. And like
Craig.
Craig said, great thing to put in a side room for a quarantine rack for somebody that's got, maybe even they've got 40 animals and they don't
yeah,
want them anywhere near some new ones.
yeah.
It's a good
Yep.
option.
Yeah, and if
Um,
they're little, that's the thing. I love having versatility in my racks. Like the animal plastics one behind me, it fits, well, this side, it fits shoe boxes from Container Store and boot boxes. So as they grow, I can just, and then these are 70 series tubs in an animal plastic. Those are Vision brand tubs. And I get the dividers from Black Box, and it takes one big 70 and makes it into 2. So my girls that are 500 to 800 grams can fit 2 in a tub. So then when
sure.
they get big enough, they can just have the whole tub to themselves. But
Yeah.
instead of me rebuying multiple racks, I'm a fan of versatility. So this
Absolutely.
this little guy does, in my opinion, a nice job of being versatile.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So approach you straight on Instagram or email
Yeah.
you. A
Yeah,
website, is there?
constrictly.business@gmail or Instagram, same thing, Constrictly Business. Shoot me a message, and
Okay.
we can get you a shipping quote for the rack. And it would just be ground. It would be slow, whatever's slow and safe, so that it's cheapest as possible. I do,
Yeah.
yeah, Vance. I love animal plastics.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of covering all the bases. Hey, shout outs. Do you got shout outs for anybody out there? Talk
Yeah,
about
man, we
when
got a
your
big
show's
announcement
on.
tomorrow night. Herp Collectors Network. Okay, we're gonna be with Mike. He's hosting us. We'll be with Proper Royals, Adam. I'll be with Irresistibles, Nikki and Kurt, as well as I know the Whiskey Bomb Network's involved as well, and of course our fearless leader Craig Abashcoder. So that's a huge announcement. Don't want to miss out. That is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, I believe, and
Okay.
it's gonna be pretty awesome, and it's going to be a big deal. It's the first of many to come as far as these announcements go. So that's tomorrow night. I'm just honored to be part of that. I can't go into depth, but everyone will find out everything they want to know in 22 hours.
It is going to be amazing. I agree. It's something that's badly needed, and I think this is going to be done in the correct way, which is going to be good to see. So,
Yeah, very excited
um,
about it. So that's what's up. Shouts out to them and people that have just been great mentors. The Herp and Harbins. Bob Vu is always available to me. He's great. Kyle Hoffman, Mills Thacker, just some Emilio Villarino, from Trap Talk. There's just some great people. And I already mentioned my Chondro friends. There's people that I can always reach out and lean on and they've been super awesome in the past year and a half. So I can't say enough good things about them. And yeah, I don't know, man. Shouts out to everyone that's just a fan of Naughty Business and the show, and my boy Dread. Hopefully, they get over the crud over there at the Dread household and feel better soon. Definitely shout out to
Absolutely.
him.
Gonna have to be a return trip when he does, because I want to hear that side of it and a little more about the Naughty Business and if it ever got spelled correctly.
That damn shirt printer, I tell you what, spend good money, and he puts an A in there.
Right. Got the thumbs up from the background. So can't say enough about how much we appreciate it, Phil. It's not always an easy thing to get people in at certain time slots. It's a later time slot than a lot of shows. We do try to keep it short for that reason. East Coast people, they don't want to be up till midnight. I get that. We work early as well. We know everyone else out there has schedules to stick to. So awesome show, man. Awesome to meet you. Can't say thanks enough, honestly, and looking forward to tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me. The honor was all mine. I really do appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for letting me share some of what we're up to right now, and a lot of big things coming, and hopefully tomorrow's announcement and import-export stuff, and move a few products and breed a few snakes, and maybe make something out of 2025 memorable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be memorable regardless. So we always close out the show the way we're going to close it tonight, too. We got to throw more Forge coin out there in the community. Get those affiliates some money spent with them as well. Trivia time. Yeah. So you had an awful lot to say. We know it's not Big Papa. That's not going to be the answer. So get that out of your minds, right? But Jamie, what did you come up with out of that whole mess? What kind of stuff did you filter out?
There was a whole lot of complex information, so I did the opposite and kind of went simple on this one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have two.
You do this every week. So give it to the guest. Let the guest pick. Yeah, okay, A or B.
A or B.
Plan B.
Okay.
Plan B. Okay.
Trivia question B is, Phil's daughter has a pet. What is it?
Oh, that's actually not that easy because it was a quick little snippet when he said it.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a pretty tough one, actually.
Now we'll go back to the comments, see if anybody goes.
That one goes way back too. That was at
right?
Close to the beginning, yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but that's what species?
Yeah.
Right. I was going to say that's kind of, we can maybe give you a half credit on that, but
we didn't even talk about my wish list species.
Be more specific.
That was on there.
Yeah.
Well, great guess then, man. That's a great
guess. Yeah, that was a good guessing.
And Mitzi just put a green lizard in there.
Love it.
It was not a crested, no. It's a tough one. It is. I knew that one was going to be kind of hard.
Nice picking, Jamie.
Yeah, got him stumped. And what's funny is this will stick with people too once they hear it. It's like, okay.
Well, while they're contemplating that, I will say, very recently, fell.
There we
go.
There.
Another guess.
Jen said viper.
Right, I saw that. Pit viper.
What does every 8-year-old want for Christmas? A viper.
Right.
That's funny. Looks like Vance. He said Leo. It's a leopard gecko.
Vance, I got your shirt pack to go to the Atlanta show. I'll see if I get to break out the Blue Zombie Morph shirt down there. I got a couple of them. That one's going in the suitcase, bro.
I love it.
Nice.
They're
fantastic.
Vance, like the college kid that skips all the classes, just shows up and aces the test there.
He'll be the first to admit he's skipping class. He's not sticking around for class. But
Mom
congrats.
Far behind.
No, pretty close.
Second place. Yeah.
So we'll update that. Vance, another one goes in your bank. I think you've got some stacking up over there, and all you people stacking up that coin, quit being greedy. Vance. Start spending that stuff.
At $50 now.
Yeah. So let us know whether it's our stuff or somebody on that affiliate group. Doesn't matter. Pick something you like and get it out of your pocket. It's got to be burning a hole in your pocket right now. So
Yeah.
appreciate it, guys. Again, awesome show, Phil. Thank you, sir, for coming out.
Thank you.
We're gonna, yeah, maybe she does want a ball
Hey,
python.
you know what? I'm looking, and I hate to say it because then some people get really offended, but I'm looking for a cheap visual female clown. That's because she's got a pastel het clown boy from someone that I didn't realize was famous till long after I bought the snake. So I've been keeping an eye out for a female clown girl, but it's not a priority. But if we get a chance to, that'd be cool. So we can get the breeding this year. She'd love it. But I
Yeah,
appreciate everyone in the comments tonight, man. That was super awesome. Very good crowd. Loved it.
Yeah, it was a
big
good time.
clown female. Put that out there one more. Ready to go, right?
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah,
after.
ready to breed female. With
Okay.
I'm not picky, but yeah, from the boy we got here. That's actually my daughter's. It was the first ball python we got. It's from Dave Levinson. So I didn't realize
There
who he
you
was
go.
when I bought that snake for $30. So I bought the dad for $30, which means I'm not going to spend $1,000 on the girl. Just throwing it out there. Just going to be a budget project for fun.
Hit up Mike. Mike's an awesome guy. He's got a leopard clown ready to go.
Nice. That would be
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
So, yeah, we'll throw you backstage. Hang out with us. 2,200 grams sounds like she's ready to go.
Boom.
We're
That's what
gonna-
I'm talking about. Thanks for having me, guys. Much love.
Yeah,
For
thank you,
sure.
Phil.
Run that exit video. Everybody come on in next week. We got some newer people. A lot of people aren't going to be familiar with it. It'll be a lot of fun. Got a quick high when we were in Daytona with them, and that was about it. So it's going to be awesome to sit down and get to know them. Sarah and Mike, S&M. They're going to be on next week, same time, same place, guys. So come check us
We'll
out.
see you then.
Stop in, hang out. Phil, hang out. I'm going to talk to you for just a brief, and we'll let you go.
You got
Everybody
it.
else, have a fantastic week, and thank you again for coming out, guys. Really do appreciate it. Can't say that enough. So finish out the week strong, guys. Peace.